Hey everybody,
Good evening.
good evening. It's evening time. Welcome to this evening's Goshen prepping live stream. Super excited you're here. We have some changes we're going to talk about. Changes in the world, changes in prepping, but also just changes in the channel and stuff too. Not to mention, we'll always put it as far as any type of questions and answers you might have. We'll be happy to answer your questions as we go.
Might be a little difficult tonight, but we will do our best.
Why is that?
Because we're short me or somebody else.
Or short me. You're not here? I thought you were here.
No, we're short an extra person, so.
Oh, that's delicious. All right, so people coming in, we're going to say hi to everybody. Then we'll introduce our tea, what we're having tonight.
Okay.
Chillin' Penguin Army is practically speaking always the first in the house. Good job. Storm Chasing Gal, yay. Hello, Kathy Bulmer. Kenneth, good evening to you, my friend.
Good
Scott
evening.
C3. Southern Pearl, hello. Renee from Kansas. Patricia, our neighbor, so to speak, like an hour from us,
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
is here. And Moam is here. Hello, Juan. How are you? Who's ready for tomorrow? Yeah, thanks, Chillin' Penguin Army. I guess I could have actually made like the thumbnail about the eclipse tomorrow, but honestly, I totally forgot about it.
Oh.
I mean,
I kind of thought about it, but I don't really think it's that big of a deal, so.
I was teaching my son to drive today. We're out driving. And he goes, "What are we doing tomorrow, Dad?" And I said, "Tomorrow's the eclipse." And that's since I totally forgot about
Yeah. We have glasses for the kids, but.
it. Glasses? Oh, the glasses, yeah.
I got, the library was given a couple
How many did you
away.
get?
I only got 3 pair. We're going to have to share. I didn't want to be greedy because there's so many of us. I didn't want to take all of them, so.
Yeah. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall.
That is a scene from something, isn't it?
It is a scene from something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sven says it.
Okay.
Very cool. All right. So hopefully everybody's going to have a decent view of the eclipse tomorrow. I'm excited about it. One of the biggest things people worry about is going to cause a shift in the Madrid fault line causing earthquakes. And I highly doubt that's going to be the case.
No.
We had eclipses. We have eclipses all the time.
Yeah, we
like
do.
in 2017 we had one. It was
We had
neat.
one.
That's the one in Pensacola.
Yeah, I was going to say, I
We went
remember
outside and
that
looked
one,
at it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool.
That one was cool.
All right, so what do you have there? What are you drinking
I
today?
am drinking a chai latte, but
Really?
it's a tea.
I didn't know you
It's a tea
liked
latte.
chai.
Oh, I love chai.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's mine? Mine's blackberry.
Yeah, your blackberry cherry.
Blackberry Harry.
That's courtesy of the animals.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Human animals. All right, very good. I'm glad you guys are here tonight. I hope, James, that's funny. I hope everybody caught our video yesterday where we talked about changes in the channel. Was
Yes.
that yesterday?
It was.
It was yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
If you didn't, then we were going to be starting a newsletter, which a little bit later this evening, hopefully you stick with us for quite a while. We're going to talk about that newsletter as far as expectations for that too. But that's pretty cool.
Before we get into too much of it already, we'll let everybody know, because a lot of people don't stay for the whole thing. We do plan on having a live stream next week.
Mm-hmm.
So we are set to go. As long as everything is good to go, we will plan on it next week, same
Yeah,
time. So.
Exactly. Yep, very neat. So tomorrow we have the eclipse, and then tomorrow evening our martial arts school is closed
They are.
because local school came to us and said, "Hey, we're having like this big family thing at our
Yeah.
school." At first they said, "Would you like to come to it and just talk about martial arts?" And I said, "Sure." And then it switched to, "We would be interested in doing that and doing a demonstration." I said, "Oh yeah, that'll be fine. We'll break some boards and we'll do some all kinds of stuff." And then next thing you know, they said, "Oh, we actually want you to do 2 demonstrations." So
We couldn't do anything, so we had to close the school for
yeah,
it,
exactly. So we have so much stuff there that we
Yeah.
decided to close the school. In fact, a lot of our students will be coming with us to the demonstration. We'll be breaking boards and doing some sparring and fun stuff like that.
I think so.
That'll be good. Let's see. So, guys, if you have any questions, throw them out there. Fortunately, Ashley doesn't have a laptop. Ashley goes, "Do you want me to look over in your computer?" I said, "No, it's like way over here." I said, "Why don't you get your laptop out?" She goes, I don't know. I didn't even think about that.
I could, but I don't know where my cord's at.
Really?
Yeah.
How could you not have your laptop?
Because one of the
cord is?
kids borrowed it, and I don't know where they put it.
Yeah.
Yes, things tend to walk off in this house.
Ooh, Cape Cod, very nice. Yeah, Carlos, will the eclipse be bad or not? I'm never going to say no, but I would give it a over 95% chance that nothing's going to happen. That's what I think anyway.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I think
There's a
everybody's.
possibility. I mean, there is a lot of like hype about it, and I will tell you guys, you have to understand that people. It's weird when it comes to astrological events like this. as humans, we kind of look back and say, oh my gosh, this is frightening and scary.
Yeah.
And even though scientifically we know exactly what's happening, we can predict it way ahead of time. Back in the day, they didn't know it was coming. They'd be like, oh, this is a sign that some bad things are coming, or good things or whatever. But I find in our empirical age that we live in, that wouldn't be the case, but people get scared again.
Yeah.
It's incredible though. Just I love seeing things like this.
It's very cool to see, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal, but that's just me.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But you never know. I mean, here's the thing, ready? We're actually heading into a solar maximum. And if you follow the sunspots and the solar fissures, as they're called, when they come across, you have a drastic increase in seismic activity, like earthquakes.
That's true.
And it's interesting because a really good friend of mine came up and said, oh boy, did you see that thing about the earthquake in Taiwan? And I said, I sure did. And he goes, you know what? It was a, what do they call it? It's a space ray weapon that caused it. And I was like, a space ray weapon? These space weapons? And that's what he says. I was like, have you even seen like the sun as far as the solar fissures?
Yeah.
And there's a channel that I watch, and I think he gets a little sensational at times, but I do like him, and I respect the channel and the person on there, Suspicious Observer. And he talks about different types of sunspots and solar stuff, and he called it.
He did?
A few days before
Yep.
the Taiwan earthquake. He goes, look, everybody, there's a solar fissure coming. And so on that Wednesday, there's going to be a watch for earthquakes. Keep an eye out.
And there was.
And on that day, there was a big earthquake in Taiwan.
Yeah. He's pretty good about saying what's coming, and
Right.
he's pretty good.
But, yeah, what about NASA shooting missiles into the eclipse? Yeah, they're not shooting it in the eclipse itself specifically. Let me kind of put it this way with eclipses. With Einstein, he came up with the theory of relativity that light was not a stagnant going through the ether of space, but relatively speaking, it was actually had gravitational acceleration that acted upon it. And as you know, the faster, well, maybe you don't know, the faster you go toward the speed of light, the more time changes for you. In the ship, you'll actually have time deprivation, but time acceleration on Earth, for example. And it was breakthrough, amazing, but they said, oh, I wonder if there's any way we can prove this. And sure enough, there was a solar eclipse coming, and they looked at the stars, and they said these two stars are going to be the exact distance apart like this, but since the eclipse is happening, it'll make the sun dark during the day. If Einstein was right, then we're going to see the stars like this further apart because the sun's gravitational pull is going to pull on the photons coming from that star forever away. And sure enough, it worked.
Okay.
And so scientifically, his theory, the first steps of his theory of gravitational acceleration, it was general relativity, mind you, was proven during that solar eclipse. I think it was in the 20s, if I recall. It was a long time ago. And that's what NASA's doing too. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, period, end of story. I don't trust NASA in the least little bit. Not even for the fact that they're just wasting ridiculous amounts of taxpayer money, when I think when we look at space, it should be commercialized and not using the government for the stuff. It served a purpose. You know what? Let's go ahead and bring in Werner von Braun during Operation Paperclip and use a Nazi to help us with the program. When it was interesting that von Braun even said, why do you need me? You guys have top-notch rocket scientists yourself. And it actually had a good place at one time. But we in reality, in a lot of stuff with NASA, we don't need it anymore. I'm not saying not at all completely, but
Time has changed.
Times have changed. Yeah. And that's actually not even the nefarious aspect that I think NASA is basically a waste of time and space and money. But of course, if you actually look at some of their motives too, I don't agree with a lot of things NASA does. And guys, that's hard for me to say. My dad was a NASA engineer back during the Apollo missions in Gemini. That's a huge thing. But I don't trust NASA. I really don't. But these rockets going up, as far as the eclipse goes, I've read into it, and it is actually looking at scientific monitoring because we can actually see the coronas much easier, and the missiles, they're really rockets going up, are going to be making it. They're taking advantage of the fact that we have an eclipse, and a lot of that's blotted out. All right. Do I think the 4 astronauts will still fly by the moon this summer? I don't know. At the very least, I would say probably budgetary reasons, probably not.
Yeah.
But the whole Aurora program, which again, if you really dig into it, like somebody's talking about like CERN and stuff like that, there's a lot of there are truly nefarious activities taking place.
There's a lot of weird stuff.
Period. That's all there is to it. And when you look at NASA's interesting for the fact that for the Aurora project, they had one of their big head guys on there, and he goes, "This project's gonna be amazing. We're gonna return back to the moon, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All we have to do is find a way to block the solar radiation through space." And we're like,
Yeah.
didn't you do that during the Apollo missions? And that was actually one of the biggest arguments that, I'm not saying I do or don't, but people believe that the NASA missions were faked to the moon was because there was actually solar radiation would have cooked the astronauts in their seats. And NASA said, "Oh, no, we actually have this metallic surface to block it." And it was thin foil, which would not block it for anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know.
This is
Fishy stuff.
this is Goshen prepping. This isn't Goshen conspiracy theories. Although you guys get me caught up, I do love conspiracy theories. Yeah, so same thing with CERN's activity schedule for tomorrow too. I know it's interesting, isn't it? And CERN, why? I mean, listen, you want to try to find, some of the different subatomic particles and you crash them together at the speed of light, or even they call it the God particle and stuff. That's one thing.
Yeah.
But why do they have the incredibly massive, nefarious dancing? Have you seen that?
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. It was Shikra? No, what is her name?
Oh, you're talking about.
Oh.
You're talking about not Shikra or Shakira.
Oh, okay.
But you're talking about the Hindu
the
goddess
Hindu
of destruction
yeah.
on the outside.
On the outside, yeah. So it's so weird. I've watched all kinds of videos about it. It's weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff, and obviously it's the government. They don't tell us anything.
Except in movies. I think they kind of tell us stuff that might happen.
Yeah, Kenneth nailed it. It really comes down to this. Everyone who's a prepper knows to be ready for anything tomorrow. A black swan event. Yeah, exactly. It could be black swan. It could be a false flag. But I will tell you right now, I think we can expand that out, not just tomorrow, but this whole stinking year.
Yeah.
We really have to be on guard this year. There's a lot of
weird connections.
Crazy stuff going on.
If you really look at the grand chain of things, there's a lot of interesting things. And I think it's always funny how it's like election year, how everything kind of goes weird.
Yeah, very bizarre.
So, I don't know.
So, I guess it comes down to this. Do I think there's going to be any nefarious events with the eclipse itself tomorrow?
Probably not, but behind the scenes, there's probably stuff going on.
Could they be planning some kind of major thing because of that?
They're just going to make a lot of noise and thing, and then something else is going to maybe come around. Who knows?
Exactly. Simpsons tells it all. Simpsons does tell it all.
That's so funny.
That's so funny. Let's see. Did I miss something? What happened to the Goshen Geopolitical channel? Hi, Kimberly. It comes down to this. I haven't taken the channel down.
No.
It's still hanging out.
This man is very busy, does not have time.
Yeah, so my schedule, I get up in the morning, consume caffeine, and once it's done, I consume more caffeine. And some mornings I've been getting up like
really
way early. I get up at 4:30. 4:30?
Yeah.
4:30 the other morning. And I work. I get stuff done. I look at what I want to film, and I look at this newsletter and just trying to put things together. And that's my personality. I'm type A. I always have to be going. Then the kids get up, and I have breakfast sometimes, help the kids with their school.
Yeah.
Just get things done. And then finally, mid-morning, like 10 o'clock, I'll finally get a shower and shave and get ready. And then I go into the phase of
working and filming
and
stuff.
And
then
such.
If we have appointments, and if you really lay our day out, he does not have time to simply do that right now. Maybe in the future, but as of right now, we had to pull it off the table.
The reason I picked 3 o'clock for it, by the way, was because I finished filming for Goshen Prepping. It's a perfect time to go live, which it was. Then I finished that. I have like maybe a half hour. Then off to martial arts I go almost every evening. Yeah. And so I was really starting to notice a little bit of a
fatigue. He was getting fatigued because he was trying to do too much between family, taekwondo, and the channels. It was wearing him down. He can only do so much for so long, and then it wears him down. And it was just going to be too much work for him. So I said, why don't we take a break for a while? And we said we were going to make changes, and then he didn't. He got sick, and it was easier just to stop. So
yeah. So I guess the thing is, I'm not taking the channel down. It's still there. If we really start hitting some serious crap, hitting the fan, I think that's when that channel is going to light back up again. I'll start putting things on there we need to watch out for. Goshen Prepping is the channel. That's the channel I like putting stuff on. I like preparing. I love teaching prepping. And when I talk about news and stuff all the time, not that I don't read it religiously. I read it all the time, everything I can. It starts to wear on you.
It does. I mean, it's just too much.
Long story short, I'm just putting a pause button on Goshen News. I like it. It's fun. I'm hoping to return to it. And then I say that as I start now a newsletter.
Well,
but the newsletter, I think is going to be a better way for us to really connect with each other.
We have a few things in mind with the newsletter, and I think a big part of it, if YouTube decides to crap out, everybody always asks, is there any kind of connection? And we really are like, no, we don't want to take that on. We've really been discussing and deciding, and it really was something that we wanted to do was if stuff goes down, that we can send out a newsletter for people to be in connect. So we figured that would be a good thing to do, and so we started that up. So I don't know if you want to link that or not yet. It's linked. So if you haven't been, then sign up for that, and then that way you guys can at least stay in the loop if stuff goes down. So
anyways, Betty Boop, now cats are nice meow. I see your comment on there. Thank you. So somebody said nice mug. Oh, yeah, it's give you the Michigan mug.
It's a Michigan mug.
What's yours?
Mine is Explore the world with eyes wide open.
Yeah, so here we are. So here tonight. Yeah, so we'll stay healthy. That's the point is I can't jeopardize Goshen prepping going down. And so unless I actually keep and really because of my problems in the military, my brain injury and stuff, I have to keep stress free.
Stress has to be very
as
low
a type A personality. Type A personality, I have to keep stress free, which is really funny.
Well, I help him balance it, and I saw a shift in his thing, and I was like, I think it's best if you step away for a while because it was just becoming too much for him. Mm-hmm. He had no break through the day, and it was becoming very difficult.
Yeah.
So
anyway, there will be. I predict, it's my Simpsons prediction, that there will be some Goshen news and geopolitics popping back up again. When and where, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we have Goshen prepping. Also, in the meantime, we have some other changes, too, that we'll talk about over the next few weeks as the channels, some stuff we're going to do. But then the newsletter, too. And here's the thing. In reality, guys, I'm a writer. I love to write. I crank on the keyboard. I love it. There's something about it.
He writes scripts for absolutely everything.
Fiction, nonfiction, I don't care. I love to write. My oldest daughter got that from me, and we do writing conferences together. I've written some books. Good luck getting them published. I love writing. And so I was like, a newsletter. It really kills two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like killing birds, but obviously, in case YouTube takes me down, which is a very real possibility. Right now, everything's looking okay. It's not like
we're doing okay with that.
But secondly, I get to write.
Yeah.
And it's not something I have to try to stick to stick to one thing. Because, listen, when it comes to YouTube, there's a lot of thought involved. Not necessarily thought in prepping, but you have to put a lot of thought in there or literally people won't watch the videos. Yeah. I hate it. Because I wish that somebody would come over and say, all right, here's my favorite prepping channels, and one of them is Goshen Prepping. You should watch it. But sometimes you really have to put titles and thumbnails out there. I literally, guys, will make a video. It could be the best video on the planet. And I was like, Ashley, this video is perfect.
Yes.
Great video. And since it's actually more on practical, this is what you do in prepping, I'll get like 8,000 people to watch it. And I'm like, what am I wasting my time for putting really good stuff out there? I say that jokingly. I don't. I love putting some good stuff out there. But if I'll just like put together a video about something in the news or talk about something.
He's running late and he does it more easily. It ends up being
it takes off.
Yeah. It really is a gamble. Throw the dice and which one's going to take sometimes is very hard.
I saw a question real quick. Somebody asked it a couple times, so let me get to it. Just Teresa, did you see the news about the bridge in New York almost getting hit by the cargo ship? Very similar circumstances in Baltimore. I have not seen that. I'll say I've said it many times, and I'm not saying this is not nefarious or it is nefarious, but ships hit bridges or come close to it all the time. We lived on a sailboat, and it was a big 5-ton heavy sailboat. Things are not that easy to navigate.
No, they are not.
Listen, I'll go ahead and play devil's advocate. Maybe the ship from Baltimore really did just lose power, and trying to drop the anchor. That's actually a technique you do. If you lose power, drop the anchor. They called a mayday to get people off the bridge. I mean, granted, it's not going to stop as far as like
the workers,
commerce and stuff. Yeah, but I guess the thing is, as a mathematician, which I am, I look at how many times things happen in history compared to how many times things are happening right now, and look to see if there's possibly outliers or if the stats are changing. Like, for example, in food industry, I mean, right now there wasn't, but like a year ago,
there's a lot of fires.
Statistically, there were more fires to food industry than normal. And that's when you should stop back and say, okay, look, there's more than normal.
Yeah.
Because understand things happen all the time. There's, on average, a train wreck every 3 days in the United States. Every 3 days. And it would only be a matter of time before one with toxic chemicals has a major wreck in Ohio.
Yeah, right.
And so, statistically speaking, that was not an outlier. That actually fit along with statistics if you look at it for the past few years.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, as soon as that train wreck happened, everybody was like, look, another train wreck,
Yeah.
another train wreck. And that's true because your eyes are on the train wreck. So try to keep it with a level head. Yeah, that's it. Cheerio can fit. Hey, good to see you, by the way. Everyone, unfortunately, it disappeared. I like common sense prepping. That is the key. The key is don't get caught up in emotions. Still look to see about ships that almost hit the bridge in New York, but step back and say, interesting.
Yeah.
And that's what you should do until you start seeing more. I guess it comes down to if they were purposely trying to shut down I-95, I'm not saying they didn't, by the way. I'm not saying that. And they took out that bridge in Baltimore, then suddenly another ship hits another bridge in New York, that's going to raise a lot of alarms. Mm-hmm. If they're good with anything, they try to make it look, hey, one thing here. Oh, what was that? Let's distract it by talking about, is it Princess Kate? What's her name?
Yeah.
Princess Kate. So you don't look at that. I'm just making up news that people love to watch.
She has cancer now, so that's why.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
that's why I brought it up. And then, oh, look, there's a train wreck over here. Oh, by the way, did you hear about, something else? And they're really good trying to keep your eyes off of those different things, but they don't want.
They throw a lot of darts out there to see which
exactly.
one. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. My wife says I'm too doom and gloom, Juan. Welcome to the club, buddy. And it's funny because her mom, you think, oh, look, here's our channel. Look at our channel, Grandma. All our kids, her mom. And she's like, I can't watch your channel. It scares me too much. And she believes it all.
No, she does. She watches it, but she's like, I can't. There's so much scariness on it. I'm like, no, it is true. And he'll be like, did you watch my video? And I'm like, I didn't today. I only watched part of it.
So it's interesting, Teresa. The ship lost power like the one in Baltimore right before it got to the bridge. That is very interesting.
That is interesting.
And I will tell you, I am certainly on the side that I truly believe that we are actually being cyber attacked.
Yeah, I was going to say, but could that be a malfunction of the chips that we get imported from other countries? And you know what I mean? Like there's so much that could have gone wrong.
I mean, honestly, again, I'm not discounting it, but these kind of weird things do happen.
I don't know.
I don't know either. And I will tell you, there's actually a lot of solar activity, which could actually make it lose communication. That wouldn't cause the power to go down.
No, it wouldn't.
I mean, I don't know.
There's too many things. I don't know.
Yeah, Annie, several years ago, we had a Navy ship that had a nav system attacked and they lost control and hit another ship. Yeah, That's pretty scary stuff. So those things are made pretty beefy. Let's see. All right. So, as you may or may not know, we have sponsors.
We do.
And I love these sponsors, guys. I've talked about it many times. I don't take on a sponsor unless it's something I believe in. So I was approached by American Reserves, and they said, "Hey, can we sponsor you?" And I was like, "Maybe. What do you have, and what's going on with it?" Yep. And so anyway, for the first time, I have American Reserves survival food.
It's in a nice bucket.
Yeah, it's in a nice bucket.
I like the bucket.
And I'll be honest, completely transparent with you. We do have freeze-dried food.
We do.
We usually buy like the number 10 cans of it if we do buy it. But we try to freeze-dry our own stuff or just use canned food. But we do own some. I'd always recommend to get this for like your bug-out bag or get-home bag. It's really good. But this one is fruit.
Yes.
And I'm all about freeze-dried fruit. I really am. So this one has freeze-dried apples, freeze-dried nanners, freeze-dried strawberries, which are right up my alley, and freeze-dried peaches. I don't say all four of these sound good. Which one do you want to try tonight?
Let's try the strawberry.
All right, so as we're chatting, we're going to try freeze-dried strawberries. I already popped it open.
He did pop it.
I haven't looked at it. So this is interesting. Little black packs. The black packs of freeze-dried food. Apples. Who out there loves freeze-dried food? I do. Apples.
Can you read it?
Barely. It's really tiny.
Do you want me to do it?
Apples.
Well, that's good. So far, we've got 3 packs of apples.
How many are in each?
I don't know.
There's 4 patches of each.
Okay.
Apples.
Oh, sweet. Wait, no, there's 5 because that adds up.
What? It says 4 patches, and they give us. Oh, for apples, there's 5. All right, here's
That's cool. Now look at this. They changed the color.
Strawberries. All right, so we'll stop there.
They changed the color. That is cool. So you could say, "Get me the gold pack."
All right, cool. Move the mic. Sorry, Captain. My captain. Which way shall I move? Don't move the mic. Do not.
No, it's probably because you can't see the bucket.
Oh,
is that what it is?
You see it pretty well.
I don't know.
All right, can't really move the mic, but we do have some freeze-dried strawberries, 20 grams. So apparently they're European strawberries. Let's see here. It says this box has 4 pouches of them, and they are 10 grams each of strawberries.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Let's try it.
All right. Anyways, I thought it'd be kind of fun to try this out on the channel. We also have a giant bucket full of freeze-dried meats.
Yeah.
I'm a meat eater. And I'll tell you, reading through it, there's some delicious looking stuff there.
Yeah, there were some yummy ones on there.
All right.
Do you want me to get it without scissors?
Like,
Do you want me to get scissors?
or just try it. All right, let's see.
I don't want to be really loud on the camera. Okay, I'm going to get scissors.
Yeah, the lamb is light. I would love to talk about that on this channel, but I can't talk about this on channel. That's one of the things that basically gets me blocked. Oh, sorry, Michigan Apple. Yeah, so put the bucket to the side. It was mostly there just to open it.
Yeah.
It wasn't really necessarily to show it per se.
Ooh, that's exciting. Okay.
You've had freeze-dried strawberries before,
I
right?
have, and okay, so I don't know if anybody can see it, but I will put it in there.
And I'll tell you guys,
a lot in there.
we freeze-dry our own stuff. And you have 2 choices when it comes to freeze-dried strawberries. You can either eat them just like this. It's like an amazing candy. Or you can reconstitute them with water, and they become regular strawberries again.
Or you can make fun drinks with them. They have like a lemonade drink with strawberries in it. No, not alcohol. No. It's like this new drink that everybody's drinking. It's coconut milk and like a juice, and then they put these freeze-dried strawberries in it.
Yeah, Carla says, love the freeze-dried fruit. Me too. It's fantastic. So anyways.
There's a lot in here. That's
Yeah,
really
it actually
I'm
is.
actually really impressed with how many's in there.
A freeze-dried strawberry.
And of course, you can't forget the oxygen and we do not eat these.
Carla says there's a chair strip you missed. Or maybe I missed. Anyway, scissors worked. All right, here we go. Did you already try one?
No, I did not.
I can feel my,
those are really good.
my salivary glands going.
No, it's funny because I bought some
Wow.
freeze-dried strawberries off of Amazon, and they did not taste good. They were gross.
I wish you guys could be here with me trying these.
Those are really good.
Yeah, very good. And guys, I don't care if it's a sponsor or not. I'll always be truthful and honest. If there's something I like or don't like, I'll let you know.
Those are really good.
Like, for example, I modeled some 4 Patriot stuff. They had a couple things that were pretty cool. They had some things I did not agree with at all. I've said it before. Like their solar generator. 4 Patriots is neat.
They're really good.
What they'll do, instead of, like, my mind, I like putting things together and figuring stuff out. You know, I'm not about, like, people like everything put together as one thing so I don't have to think about it. That's not me. I like piecing together. 4 Patriots is all about, here's our solar generator, here's our solar panel. They work together. Those are the ones you use together. But I'm the kind of person, I'm like, well, I want to hook up my own solar panels and stuff. And that's not my complaint about them. That's just not me. But their solar generator, it honestly started having problems within, I don't know, like a few months after having it.
I don't know.
And right now, I'll be honest with you, I don't know if it even works. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll always, like, put a good light in the sponsors. You know, they pay a lot of money to do this stuff. This stuff, I'll be honest with you, freeze-dried food is not cheap.
Oh.
But I'm also going to be honest, too. This tasted like garbage, I'll let you know.
This is really good. Like I said, I bought some off of Amazon because they were organic, nice, healthy ones. And they were gross. I tried feeding them to the kids, and the kids wouldn't even eat them.
Does freeze-drying take away any nutrients? No,
it does not.
I use freeze-dried fruit for smoothies. Oh, that's good
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
But then Johnny said, so they don't need sugar added?
No.
They don't.
No.
And this one does not have any added sugar.
Yeah, it's just the
I'm looking at all of them.
Oh no, that was the apples. Never mind.
The freeze-dried peaches have some added sugar, but the apples,
Strawberries on their
bananas,
own.
and strawberries do not need added sugar.
On their own, they're just. I mean, these are really good. I'm not kidding you. These are really good.
Yeah.
They made the Amazon ones I got last
We
time.
can always reconstitute a few. You want to get one of those little glass dishes and some water?
I'm gonna do that.
We'll dump some in there. And a spoon so we can pull them out. Billy the Kid says, I heard that the DoD will be reenacting the draft for military service. Your view? Obviously, we don't know for certain, but I do know this. How about this? They are, flat out, this is not hidden, they are rewriting the draft as far as what they think the draft should be, and they are making changes. And the military doesn't really make changes on this. Sometimes they do, but they don't usually do it unless there's something going on. And so I think it is going to happen. If you want my opinion, and this is, I'll say right now, this is speculation. I believe we're going to have some kind of major attack. Either it's going to be an attack for real, or it'll be a black swan. It'll be a false flag. But nevertheless, I believe it's going to pull us into World War III if that does happen. Yeah, so there you go, Carla. I read a review about solar generator. They said it dies faster than it should. That's exactly my experience, too. Did I say what the huge change is coming? I had to step away. Gray Woman, thank you. No, the only thing I've talked about so far was the newsletter, which is a big change, but we actually have some different things we're changing for the whole channel overall. Goshen prepping, the way it is right now, is not going to change.
Yeah, so don't worry about that.
It's not going to change. So, and I felt so bad. There was a nice follower of the channel who messaged or commented and said, "Oh, I feel so bad. I love watching your videos." I was like, "Oh, no. The videos aren't going away."
Yeah.
The newsletter is on top of that.
Yeah, it's just bonuses. We're just, that's the main thing is the changes, because that is a big thing, because it's more work, but it's more connecting to you guys. So I think it's a combo.
Yeah, so I see some of that stuff popping real quick. For example, Billy the Kid, 5 carrier groups in the South China Sea. That is a ridiculous amount of firepower. It's incredible. That's almost half our carrier fleet.
That is a lot for that.
And they're talking about some of the new ones, too.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible. Yeah, so they're preparing for it, even though they're kind of claiming they don't. Let's see. Eric, are you able to talk about what the eclipse drama could be for distracting us from an excuse? I don't know. If we see anything happen with the eclipse, again, I don't think it's going to be... Oh, can I use this? I don't think it's going to be astrological. I don't think the eclipse is going to be causing any problems. There's always a chance that gravitational acceleration from the moon could trigger an earthquake. It always could. But the moon passes over every single day. And...
You want to try it?
I want a minute. Every time the moon passes over, the gravitational pull of the moon makes it so here's the Empire State Building. When the moon goes over, the Empire State Building stretches out by 6 inches. Then when the moon goes down, it goes back to its original shape again. So we already have a ridiculous amount of gravitational pull on the moon, on the Earth anyway. Having the sun with the moon there, the sun doesn't cause the tides, the moon does. So the actual gravitational pull from the sun on the Earth is practically nil compared to the moon. So adding them together is, I'm telling you, as a physicist too, that's not really something that we usually worry about. But the solar activity happening right now along with that, that's a different story. How's that?
That's pretty impressive.
All right. So here's a reconstituted strawberry. Beautiful. Now it should be just like a regular strawberry.
It tastes just like a regular strawberry.
Yeah, a strawberry.
It just tastes like I cut up a bunch for the boys.
That's so cool. All right. So, yeah. I think the worst thing that will happen is people look at it without some kind of glasses on. How to get the newsletter. Lori, if you look at the description below, just stop by our website, just goshenprepping.com, and it'll pop up, a little pop-up will come up on there and said, do you want to subscribe to the newsletter? But if it doesn't, there's actually a different page that says subscribe to the newsletter, and go there and just enter the information in there. And I always put off, by the way, I make it really clear, it's not a monetary thing. It doesn't cost anything. I'm not going to sell or give away your email. I'd never do that.
Your emails are kept safe.
Right.
Secret.
Only I will see them.
Yep.
In fact, I don't even see them. They really are just kept in the database for me. And then if you don't like it, unsubscribe.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking probably by the end of the week we'll have our first newsletter out.
Hopefully, we're trying. We have a couple things going on this week, and so hopefully you'll get it ready.
So big things to the channel. So the number one thing is the newsletter, but secondly is I would like to add to the website and the newsletter more communication with you guys. So, for example, I have had interest from people saying that they would like to advertise a meetup in their location. So let's say you live in Lincoln, Nebraska. And if you do, by the way, that's just a coincidence. I'm not watching you. And you're like, you know what? I'd like to find preppers in my area. I've thought about, and I am tech savvy, but I'm not a big web person. I'll have to figure out how to do this. But I would like to have it so
you can connect with the people.
Yeah, through our website. Yeah. So if you, at the very least, want to put some kind of information in, maybe I'll put a little box in where you're having a meetup, etc., then I can include that in the newsletter. So when you get it, on the back, it'll say, oh, look, here's 23 different places that are having meetups coming up soon. Yep. And that way you can possibly go to those.
Yeah.
That's one thought I had.
Yeah.
Another one is on the website, too. I've seen this on another YouTube a long time ago, where literally you can enter the information and they actually have a map showing where all the prepper groups are. That makes me a little nervous.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you.
I don't think we'll do that because I know a lot of people that doesn't want to like be out there saying that they're preppers, and I get it, but
somebody's asking. People who are talking about Iran as far as retaliation. I believe Iran will retaliate. I do, but I think it's going to be the typical dog nipping at people's ankles, which we see like with the Houthi and up in Lebanon with Hezbollah. That's what I think is going to happen with Iran. They don't seem to really be controlled as far as how they do their attacks very well. And so that's what I think is going to happen. I don't think we're going to have like a huge attack from them. If they could, they would love to launch a nuke. They just, right now they don't have the technology for it. Their missiles are not even actually really capable. Their missiles are pretty horrible. They're pretty old technology.
Yeah.
They don't. Their range is atrociously small, and that's even if they have a nuke. But either way, I do see some retaliation. I just don't think it's going to be a major one. I do believe there's going to be some attacks in the United States from all the immigrants coming in. But for me, I'm trying to wrap my head around how that's going to play out.
Work, yeah.
So I don't know how that's going to work. All right. So anyways, it's live stream. So, I always love giving you guys more news than normal. So I'm going to give you like a bigger news piece. I gotta. She's going like, don't talk about it. We were going to talk about this in a couple weeks. But I'll kind of give you an idea of where we're heading. So I talked earlier in the channel tonight, and that's why I'm bringing this up again. I will put a lot of time and energy into a video. I'm a doctor. I'm a nuclear specialist, or I was, anyway. I was a doctor. I guess I still am. I just not practice anymore. And there's other things that I'm actually an expert of. I really know stuff very well. I'll put a video out that is like, for example, like my nuclear prepping series.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic series, by the way. And it's obviously what's the term I'm looking for? I'm puffing my own smoke. What am I looking for?
Yeah.
No, I'm not puffing smoke.
Tooting your own horn.
I'm tooting my own horn. That's what I'm doing. I'm tooting my own horn. And it blows me away. It blows me away that the amount of people who have not watched it is crazy. And
it's disheartening.
It is disheartening. I put a lot of really good information on there. And by the way, I'm asked to talk at people's groups and conferences sometimes. And I will often use a nuclear talk because it's probably the most practical information you can get. So I have a whole series of nuclear videos. These videos, in my opinion, should be in the hundreds of thousands.
Should be top notch because people ask the same questions and he answers them in the videos, but they're not being watched.
Cats are nice meow for $4.99. Thank you for the super chat. I'll get to that super chat question in just a minute. There's a very good question there. So for me, it becomes disheartening. And what I find is this. When it comes to this channel, I really see there's two different groups. There's the hardcore preppers who really want to know the information, and that would be you guys. I really believe the live streams are the more hardcore preppers, the ones who are more serious, I should say. Then there's the people who are just scared and want a quick fix like they want for everything else. Yeah. And that's why, I forgot like the biggest video I have on the channel. It might be like the top 5 foods or canned foods or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
It's just an informational video, but it just exploded. That's people wanting a quick fix. And so here's the dilemma I'm in. You ready? I could make a video on, I'll just use nuclear prepping as an example, or you know what, medical prepping. I came out with a couple medical videos, and barely anybody watched them. I'm like, that's the good stuff. What's wrong?
The one, the blood cut off. What is it called? I can't even think. My brain's.
I don't know what you're talking about. Blood.
Is Israeli? Is it the?
Oh, Israeli dressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or no, there was another. The tourniquet one that you did, right?
It's the same
Israeli
one. Dressing. Okay. Yeah. But I actually talked a video about prepping and people with hypertension, cardiovascular disease is the number 1 killer in America. Mm-hmm. Barely anybody watched it. And I'm like, really? That's the good stuff. So if you didn't know, I've been putting together a medical prepping series. And I've been trying to find a way to do this because here's the problem. If I put a medical preparedness video on this channel, and it takes a lot of extra work to make these, by the way, I will get like, I'm not kidding you, 7,000 people will watch it.
And that's being generous. It's between 3 and 5.
It's disheartening.
Yeah.
It's disheartening. So I am exploring. I've actually had so many people tell me to do this, but I'm like, no. But now I'm considering a Patreon account. And the Patreon account will be it'll be for the hardcore preppers. It'll be for behind the scenes. A lot more of actually out in my property when I do stuff, putting stuff on there. Whereas Goshen prepping is what you see now is still the same. I'm at my computer.
Yep.
The people who get mad at the aliens in the background, I get so mad about that. It's like, guys, it's a light. Stop it. And so the Goshen prepping videos practically will still be the same. But if you actually want a more detailed look at our channel and the really good stuff put out there, I've been thinking, and I really mean it, guys, I've been thinking about just a Patreon account. I have not enacted it or put it in yet, but I've been thinking about it. And what you talked about was like, Ashley, let's think about it for a couple of weeks and we'll come back to it. But here we are. It very well may be a big change. So I'd like your opinion on that. In the meantime, cats are nice. Meow. $4.99. Is there a consequence? Excuse me. Here, talk for a second.
The strawberries were really good, guys. I'm not kidding you. I will be eating them tonight.
All right.
That was it.
Is there a consequence if you're afraid to open the door to the government? I'm afraid of posers. I don't generally answer my door. Mm-hmm. That first off, you should never answer.
You should never.
Don't answer your door. Don't answer your door. Is there a consequence to not opening your door? No. Listen, I'll tell you, I'm not a lawyer, but these are some of the things I read and research and investigate. That in America, we have it's the Fourth Amendment that's a right to against illegal search and seizure. Our government can't just come in your house. Mm-hmm. Here's a trick, by the way. You ready for this? A cop comes to your door. A knock on the table would be really loud. Knocks on your door. Hey, I've got some reports that there's been, fireworks, how about that, going off from your house. No, officer, there isn't. Well, I heard there is. It's your house. Do you mind if I come in and take a look around? No, you're not coming in and looking around. And they can't.
Unless they have a warrant.
But you ready for this? They'll say, well, are you alone in the house? No, my son's here. Can you go get your son for me? Sure. And they'll say to you, just leave your door open. Do you guys know about this trick?
I do.
Just leave your door open. They want to make it look like that, they're just for your safety, whatever. You don't have to. You can shut your door and lock it and deadbolt it. But here's the thing. They'll just leave it open. And then if they'll look around and they'll actually enter your house, because then under the court they'll say, they left the door open for me, even though he told you to leave your door open.
Or that you were chopping onions for your stew and you left the knife on the counter. Exactly. And they were probable cause of, that knife they could use for something.
They'll do anything they can to gain entry. Not every cop does this. Not even close.
But the government, that's what he's saying. So
FBI comes knocking on the door. And this may have come from the Max, by the way. I saw the Max had a video out where he talks about FBI coming to people's doors. This is nothing new. I actually talked about this like a year ago.
Yeah.
That they're doing this, that they're coming to the door and they'll knock on the door. And in some ways, they are just doing their cop thing from the FBI or through the ATF. We're investigating this, Go ahead. You can invest all you want to. Go ahead and investigate. I don't care. You can knock on my door. But you know what? I also know the Fifth Amendment. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say a thing to you.
Deny, yep.
You don't have to say anything. That's what's beautiful about our government setup. You don't have to say a thing to them. Nothing. But I don't answer my door. If they come to my door and say, hey, FBI, open the door, I'll say, too busy watching reruns of X-Files, I guess. Oh, wait, I can't have that on my wall because people don't.
That was a gift from his daughter.
Oh, it was a gift from my daughter.
It was.
All right, so anyway, let's see. So, Johnny, please include medical stuff for people with GI diseases such as ulcerative colitis and Crohn's, especially if there's a shortage of medications. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Johnny. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I would love to venture down that path, which, let's be completely honest with you, it's going to require more work for me because I still have Goshen Prepping doing certain things. And if I put those videos on Goshen Prepping, people don't want to watch that. They want to watch, what canned food do I need to prep in case we're invaded by Nazis? How should I actually pack my... The thing is, that's what they want. And the channel, it's sad it's there. And for me, I want to put the good stuff out, but yet the people don't watch the good stuff. And so I thought about, for the real hardcore preppers, which you guys are, actually starting a Patreon. Billy Kid, I would not recommend, would not recommend a Patreon or something else. So Daryl, what natural remedy is there for high sugar in case I can't get meds? For high sugar, are you saying
like
if
diabetes?
you have high blood glucose?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking? But I will say this, because I will tell you what I would do, because I'm not licensed anymore, but what I would do is if you have any type of diabetic problems, I don't care which diabetes you have, and I really mean it, diabetes type 1, diabetes type 2, gestational diabetes, I don't care. I would go on, well, hopefully I'm not on gestational diabetes, because, that's funny, because eating high glycemic foods exacerbates hypo and hyperglycemic problems. So if you're diabetic, you have no business eating sugar. And so if I had diabetes, I would go on a carnivore diet.
Yeah.
I would go on at least a keto diet.
Yeah.
I don't believe and so crap hits the fan without any type of medications, especially, stay away from glycemic foods, high glycemic foods.
And prep the ones that you can eat with that aren't that.
All right, let's see. Wow, I don't really see anybody talking about as far as the possibilities. They're all just talking about, let's see. What if you move the good stuff to the other channel? Well, that's the problem, Carla, is then people still don't watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing that with Goshen News anyway. I'll put out a video and it's really good stuff. Actually, here's one of the problems too. I'll put out a video, and obviously it's my opinion I'm talking. I'll put out a video about what I think's happened in a specific area, and people get super ticked at me for saying that. How dare I have a different opinion than them?
Yeah.
And I'll put out a video and I'll get nothing but crap feedback on the thing, and I'm like, why bother even put those kind of videos out?
Time and energy for a bunch of crappy people.
How are the other freeze-dried fruit? I don't know, Baby Doc. We just tried the strawberries
We're just going to
tonight.
try the strawberries tonight. I don't want to open them all up because
We'll try a different one. We'll try a different one later on. All right, so let's see what else. Oh, so anyway, some of the things we're looking at doing, if we do this, I would actually like to start meeting up with other preppers. Like, I know there's some in this area, and I would love to talk to them and say, listen, so if I come to your house and make it so nobody can identify where you live, can I talk to you about prepping so that way we can see how other preppers do stuff? It'd be kind of fun.
Okay, like videos. Okay,
so that's what I'm looking at, just kind of like fishing around those type of things. And so we very well may do that. We'll kind of see how it goes. I've actually, for years, had so many people tell me to get a Patreon and do that. And I've always been like, no, this channel's good enough. But I think it might be time. That's what I'm kind of wondering. Let's see. From Michael, even after my military use, you taught me more about nuclear fallout and radioactive stuff. And now it disappeared. Oh, there it is. Than anyone. I made my grandchildren watch it too. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. There's really, really good stuff on there. And I've watched, on occasion, I haven't done it probably in a year, but I've watched like other channels' nuclear stuff. There's actually this other channel. I can't remember what it was. They had a channel about nuclear prepping, and it was like in the hundreds of thousands of views. I can't remember who it was. And I watched it, and I was like, that's wrong. That's not right. No, that's not how it works. And
it's not good when he watches that and he's like, this is so wrong. And then he's nicely even says, well, this is incorrect and some of the stuff. And then the guys, they get really mad. But I'm like, you're telling people wrong information. You're going to hurt them in the long run because you don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, so the thing is, like, which channel? There's a channel that I'm friends with the main guy. I guess I shouldn't say who it is anyway. He's a firefighter. He's a professional firefighter. That's what he does every single day. Do I know some stuff about firefighting? Sure. A little bit.
But you're not going to go on the channel and tell him what to do.
Right. But if he tells me something about firefighting, I'll be like, if anybody knows, it's him. Mm-hmm. He knows firefighting. But I don't know. And when I see other people doing that stuff, I close my eyes, shake my head, and I'm like, no.
You're hurting people.
That's not right. That's not right. Let's see. By the way, guys, if you want to ask me a question, David T4, where do you get medical supplies in quantity? That's a great question, by the way. If you really want to ask me questions, I'll try to scan through. Like, for example, see another from Whispering Times too. If you actually put @ and then start typing in Goshen Prepping and click on it, it'll like really highlight it. Or if not, put it all in caps.
Sorry.
I normally have another person.
I know. I'm under the bus this time.
All right, so I totally lost it. So real quick, in order, Whispering Pines, do you network with anyone in your community? I'm in your area. Yeah, we sure do. we've actually met with
a bunch of people.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things I am looking at this summer is having a meetup again. We haven't had one in a while, and I think we're due. And then Mark says, I'm in Mount Pleasant. That's great. Yeah, that's actually Mount Pleasant Martial Arts is one of the schools I teach at, Mark. So we come down there quite often. Here's one for Billy the Kid. Collaborations with other prep channels would be fun. They would be. And here's the thing. When we first started Goshen Prepping, we had another channel at the time. We went to Goshen Prepping. Our internet was Starlink, and it was simply not able to hold the bandwidth to talk with other channels.
Yeah, we tried that.
But I had lots of other channels say they would like to meet up with me. And so I'm going to do that too. Mm-hmm. There's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
They'd be a lot more fun. The David T4. Where do you get metal supplies in quantity? One place, simply put, is Amazon. I know that may not be your favorite place to go. But don't think you have to go to Amazon. If you just Google search medical supply companies.
eBay's a good place for it. eBay has a lot of stuff. Sometimes does. You can go like Walmart. Sometimes they have that, but you
can in bulk.
Sometimes you can do I'm not like saying like scissors, but like gauze and pads and stuff like that.
Even then,
really,
like when I buy my 4x4 pads, I buy them by the packs.
Oh, okay. All right.
And when I get like gauze pads, I buy them by like dozens of rolls.
Oh, okay.
It's much cheaper that way. Than
probably eBay or Amazon.
But anyways, if you just Google search medical supply companies, there's lots of them. Find the ones that have the cheapest shipping, but they'll ship the stuff right to you.
Yeah, you too can also go to your military store, and a lot of times they have that stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
We have General Gyms up in our area, and that place has some great stuff. We've gotten some really good stuff there.
Let's see. All right, I see one here from the Knight who says, "Nee." By the way, I posted a well-written comment on your last video, but it vanished while everyone else's is still there. What gives? I don't know. Knight that says, "Nee." I've seen your stuff before, Knight that says, "Nee." I like your stuff. I will tell you there's a few possibilities, and I will tell you what I do, by the way. Do I delete comments? Rarely. But I will delete comments if somebody is being a complete a-hole. Because my philosophy is this. You ready? I'm a regular guy. I have a regular wife. No, she's a beautiful wife. I have a wife. I got a family. I have a job. I have a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm a regular guy. But one thing about me is I don't put up with people's crap.
Yeah.
I'm the nicest guy in the world. I'll bend over backwards for you. If you're in the front of me in the grocery store and you're like, crap, this is $50 for my food and I forgot my wallet, I'll pay your $50. That's who we are. We've done that many times. But then, if you turn on to be an a-hole to me, I'll kick your A. That's how I am. If somebody shows up in my front yard and starts going off on me about something, either A, we're going to be fighting, or B, I'm going to call the cops, or C, I'm just going to go in the house and ignore you. But I'm not going to stay out there and take it.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't take crap. So
I don't.
If you dish it out, you'll be able to delete it.
Right.
So that's that.
But I'll say this: Knights who say "nee," I don't think that was you. I don't think that was you.
YouTube though sometimes does.
That's the third one. Oh, the second reason I may delete someone's comment too is I call it the soapbox people. Because let's say that we're on a video and we're talking about the top 10 canned foods to stockpile. Whatever, I'll just make that up. This person says, I love raviolios. This person says, they're disgusting. I love SpaghettiOs. This person says, oh, personally, I prefer corned beef hash. And we're all talking about cans. Then here comes this guy who's like, well, I believe, and starts talking about, has nothing to do with what we're talking about, and writes 5 paragraphs on how everybody should be doing this and this and this. What in the hell does that have to do with corned beef and SpaghettiOs? This is not your channel to make your own soapbox. Go make your own channel. And so if the thing is, if they're just talking about something in general, whatever, but sometimes you can really tell when somebody's rolling their soapbox. And I'll kick their soapbox out from underneath them, and I won't block them, but I'll delete their comment.
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous. It has nothing to do with that. And so I don't go with that too. And then third, Night Soon say "nee," is YouTube does delete. Oh yeah, there's actually 4.
No, there's 4.
There's 4.
Yeah.
YouTube does delete some. What is their criterion? I have no idea.
Yeah, they just pick and choose, happens. I swear, sometimes.
But then fourth, I will tell you that sometimes we do get overzealous moderators.
Oh, actually, there's 5th then.
Okay, so and I'm not at all knocking my moderators, guys. Moderators, I love you guys. Thank you for being on here. But I've found that here's what they'll do is they'll joke about something. I love cats. They're perfect with barbecue sauce. And they'll put something weird on there. And obviously they're just being funny. And one of the mods will be like, delete. And I understand maybe they like cats and it offended them not liking their cats. But I always say, if somebody's just trying to be funny and have a good time, not really that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But, I appreciate the moderators. And that may be another reason. What's the fifth one?
The fifth is if it has to do with religion, that will be.
Well, honestly, I'm not, okay, this frustrates me, guys. So last week, we went live on Sunday. It was Easter Sunday. So this is it. Ready? I had Happy Easter, Happy Easter, Happy Easter, Happy Easter. He is risen, Happy Easter. And every single one of them, great. I didn't say a thing. Go ahead and put them up. It's your amazing religious holiday. I appreciate that. Go ahead and do it. I don't care. But then one lady gets on and writes an entire paragraph on how religion, you should be doing this and 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 this. And I said, no, that's their soapbox. I'm kicking that out from underneath you because, listen, just saying hi, saying Happy Easter, that's just somebody saying hi and saying Happy Easter. Nothing wrong with that at all. And so we deleted her, but then I found out afterwards that Naomi was sitting here. Somebody else was actually really going off on these huge religion things too. And she was like, guys, you need to stop. And finally it's deleted it. And I had so many people come up and say, you won't let us talk about our religion. So you know what? Goodbye. I'm unsubbing. And I'm like, you're a flippin' idiot.
Well,
you're an idiot.
It's not cool to go on somebody's channel and just spout off a bunch of stuff. And
so listen, you ready for this? I'm going to say something I never say. This is the big changes. You want to talk religion? We can talk religion. Because I have studied numerous religions in the original languages, in the original text. And I believe, this is not being arrogant, this is a statement of fact, that I understand where a lot of these religions and beliefs and faiths and everything came from in the first place and their original language and what they actually meant and interpreted better than the people who follow religion sometimes.
Sometimes.
Do you hear me going off on the channel about that? No. It's a prepping channel.
Yeah,
it's not a religion channel.
We just ask that you guys don't do that. I mean, that's so.
You want to say you love your religion, you love your God, Happy Easter? I'm okay with that. I don't care. But that's just a comment saying hi.
But don't come on and say a bunch of stuff that other people are wrong and stuff like that, because that's not cool. It's not what we need to do.
Yeah. So that's what it comes down to.
So that's the 5 things. So who knows? I'm sorry if that was one of the cases, and if maybe that answered your question. Maybe it did not.
Actually, it's funny. Real quick, he said, my comment was about the value of martial arts-related body toughening, for example, Makiwara, and the study of human anatomy targets. I certainly didn't believe that.
He would not. He probably would have told me, hey, look at that cool comment I got. Yeah. So I don't know what, either YouTube did that or...
Oh, yeah. Honestly, if I saw that comment, I would have been like, let's talk about this. He would have been telling me, yeah. Especially, listen, when I teach martial arts, when I started teaching at school, we had a different instructor before I came in, and now I run the school. But he would talk about, listen, this is how you do this technique. I'm like, guys, listen, this is how you do this technique because this will knock him unconscious. And I talk about the anatomy and what works there. So nice to saying me, and that definitely wasn't me. I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah.
That's simply just talking about stuff that's right up my alley anyway, and that's not a soapbox. That's not being a jerk. So I don't know.
I don't know.
So I can't tell you why you got deleted.
I don't know.
All I can tell you is it wasn't me, and if it was Naomi at that time, it wasn't Naomi. We wouldn't delete.
Yeah, we wouldn't delete that.
That's not our criterion for deletion. Angie, could you post a link to the medical videos and other important videos in the comments? I would love to watch real prepping videos. Thanks so much. Angie, there's so many of them. I recommend what you do is after this video, of course, you got to finish this, is go to Goshen Prepping and type in and click on playlist. And you'll see the one that says like nuclear prepping series, and it'll show all the videos for the nuclear series. There's a medical prepping one, has all the medical prepping one. That's what you should do. Oh, anyways, by the way, I forgot this part too. I just saw some kind of comments. Well, the kid, religious. That's funny. So if I indeed do a Patreon where I talk about some medical videos on there, I'm going to make the video specifically for the Patreon account, but once they're made, some of them may end up putting on Goshen Prepping anyway. Probably not all of them, because here's the thing: if you're on Patreon, you're a member. You're helping out our family and helping us buy equipment and stuff. And Patreon's cheap. It's like $5 for a month of videos. It's really inexpensive. So again, it's one of the things I'm still trying to just toss around. Let's see. It's from Shadow Scout Swede. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name. Shadow. That's like a tongue twister. Shadow Scout Swede. Here in Sweden, we're not allowed to stock up on medication for a long-term disaster. You can only get for 3 months. What should I do if I want to have longer than that?
Oh.
It's a great question. If you're talking about medication, it is medication. I don't know. Yeah. I will tell you.
Can you get it out from another country?
Yeah, I will tell you, Swede. I have not seen how it works. It's probably illegal in America, and I have not done this. Any of you police watching this, that's my official answer. But apparently you can actually mail order stuff from like India, and it's ridiculously cheap, and the government wouldn't know about that.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's my answer too. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Carla says, I knew you would be one of those I don't take that kind of shit kind of guy. That's one of the things I love you guys. Yeah, listen, we're real. We're real. And that's the thing is when you get real, you take the good and the bad.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I have a little background in radio broadcasting I took in college, one class. I loved it. And I've done some acting in my life. But I love radio stuff. I love talking.
Yeah.
But on the same note, it's really funny. I've actually had people say this before. The way I'm talking to you right now, I'll meet people on the street. They're like, oh, wow, Goshen prepping. And I'm talking to them. They'll even say, wow, you really are exactly the same you are on the camera. I am.
Yeah.
Why be anything else?
Yeah, we're not fake.
Yeah. Let's see. But anyways, thank you, Carl. I appreciate that. This is your house. We are a guest. Exactly. That's exactly. Don't put the boots on the couch. Sven, you should talk to my kids. Exactly.
Or dirty feet, man.
Thank you, David. What language do you speak? I speak English.
No.
No. I speak English fluently.
Fluently. He knows a lot of other languages, but
listen, I really am the jack of all trades. I am I'm amazed I finished medical school. That's not my personality. I'm terrible at finishing things.
He spoke a lot of languages back in the day, but his memory has not.
Yeah.
Doesn't do him well, so he has no holes in his speech.
I can carry. I used to, anyways. I probably still can get by. Now I can.
Yeah, you can.
I can still carry good conversation in Spanish.
Yeah.
I can carry a good conversation in Hebrew.
In Russian.
Russian. I can say I don't know. I can say a few things in Russian.
Yeah.
I used to speak a little bit. Honestly, I really stress the word a little bit in French.
Farsi, don't you speak?
No, I was never Farsi.
Oh, it was
I studied Arabic.
Yeah, we did Arabic.
And then I still know some swear words in Arabic. But I was not even close to be able to carry a conversation in Arabic.
Yeah,
it was just fascinating to me.
Yeah.
I speak English.
Yeah. Wait, did you say Spanish?
I'm really good at Pig Latin. Yeah, I speak Spanish pretty well.
Yeah, he does.
I am not fluent in Spanish, but I can carry a conversation.
Yeah, a couple times when we've been with people, you've been able to carry conversations.
Oh yeah, I carry conversations, but they'd probably laugh and giggle and say, "You're an American, try to speak Spanish." I'm sure that's what they're doing.
That's all right.
Yeah.
It's better than I can.
So how about you? Who here speaks different languages? Thank you, David. You know what? You're a Baptist. I respect you too. I love people. I love religions. I love talking about all these things. And honestly, we'll go to people's houses and we'll talk about religion for wee hours in the morning. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
But that's the time and place for it. Goshen probably is not. So Alex says, I'm guilty of deleting religious-based comments, but I tell them that we don't talk religion here. Alex,
that's okay, Alex.
Yeah, I wouldn't actually do that. And the thing is, if somebody just come on and say, like, Happy Easter, I really don't care. If somebody comes on and says, Merry Christmas, I don't care. I really don't. We're just a prepping channel. That's fine. That's just saying hi and stuff like that. But you can tell when it comes to this, they switch from simply just giving a religious greeting to, let me tell you about what you should be doing. And then I'm like, you shouldn't tell me about what I should be doing anyway. I do what I want to do. Alex, you're a good moderator, buddy. Alicia says, I've been here for many years. I love you guys. We love you too, Alicia. We've known you for a long time.
Yeah.
In fact, we almost made it up to Nova Scotia once to say hi to you.
Yeah, our plans, and then old stuff happened, and it was ridiculous.
Religion at its place?
Exactly. I'm eating them too much.
But here's what it is. You ready? I think what it is this, and you guys can corroborate, agree, or disagree. I would actually like your opinion. I find that when it comes to a lot of preppers, ready? A lot of preppers are conservative, religious, I'm going to even say probably Christian, right? Conservative, Christian, national.
American.
Yeah, so.
For America.
So I think that when it comes to and guys, please forgive me on this because I'm talking religion, but I really believe that when it comes to a big chunk of
They're rights,
preppers,
not
they're
lefts.
often they're more on the right side. They're actually more Christian than not. And I think what happens is, since I'm a prepper and people want to talk about it, I think that's why they get mad because, I want to talk about this because I think the majority of preppers are.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's why they get mad.
I think that's right.
But I'm like, I don't want to talk about.
We're just talking about prepping.
I don't want to talk about Buddhism either.
Yeah. Yep.
Or Hindi.
Yeah.
Or I love talking about.
We love religion, but this channel's it's not for it.
Exactly. And by the way, guys, a thing popped up for a super chat, and it did not pop up. Let me find it real quick. Here we go. Yeah, Angie Conley, thank you for $9.99. Thank you for all you do. Having a wonderful evening. Thank you for the super chat. We appreciate that.
Nice.
Let's see. It's going so fast, guys. We're trying to. Don Hill, I speak a little Korean due to martial arts.
Oh, that's awesome.
I do too, but I will tell you, very little Korean. I'm good at yelling at my students in Korean.
Yeah, that is true.
Do you agree?
Yeah, he does. He speaks that quite well.
And a lot of times they'll come up to me like afterwards.
They're like, what does that mean?
What does that mean? I was like, it just simply means this and this.
Yeah, or then they ask me, and I'm like, I have no idea. Why are you asking me? I do not speak that.
Betty and Rob, can I ask about last week's show about your comment about World War III? Sure, Betty and Rob. But I'm not sure what I talked about in that.
I wasn't there.
I will tell you guys, I do have brain problems. I can't.
He has short-term memory sometimes, so things from like last week don't always.
Yeah. I remember going live with you guys. I remember Naomi was here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what I talked about in World War III, but you're welcome. If you could actually, Betty and Rob, if you can.
Like, ask the question again.
Yeah, try to put it. Maybe it'll jog my memory.
I don't know.
Yeah. So Dawn, speak a little martial arts. What martial arts do you practice, Dawn? Let's see. Ooh, I can get along in a couple languages. Sven, I think that's what it is. There's some people, these people, and I'm saying this with admiration, by the way. They're like fluent in like 5 languages. I'm fluent in 5 languaes.
That was Naomi's friend.
That's not me.
She spoke 6 languages, and she was like 17 years old, and it was
and she made out with.
Does it say anything about that?
Oh my gosh.
Nope.
We're not going there.
I know.
Carl says shalom. What does that mean, Carl? Totally joking.
Oh, I was like, seriously?
Yeah, my Hebrew's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like Hebrew. Billy the Kid learned Kung Fu. That's awesome.
Kung Fu. That's awesome.
Trying to look on here. Let's see. I'm Alicia's daughter. Hello, KS World of Fun. Nice to meet you. Lots of stuff popping up. Ooh, you're first down in the Hapkido. How cool, Don. That's very cool. I've actually done a little bit of Hapkido, just a little bit. But that's actually not one of my favorites. My favorites, my main thing I teach, which is, I guess, probably make my favorite, is Taekwondo. But I do some karate. We do some, a little bit of jiu-jitsu and MMA type stuff. A little bit of boxing, just a little bit. But my specialty is Krav Maga. Love Krav Maga. Excuse me.
Do you need me to nuke that, or is it okay?
It's cold.
Okay. You want me to nuke it?
It's okay. If I want to get into martial arts, what kind of things should I look for in a club? That's a great question prepared for. If I can stop coughing, I'll tell you. It's really simple. In martial arts, we call schools McDojos. Is that right? McDojos?
Yes,
McDojos. So, if you walk into school and they say, a lot of times they'll let you do a free trial, but sometimes they don't even do that. But if you go to sign up, it's a usually more expensive school, and you have to buy every piece of gear that they have because it has their name on the gear. But you buy that same gear from someone else that doesn't have the name, it's half the price. That's a McDojo. That's a school you do not want.
They suck all your money out, and it's not as good as that you need it to be.
Yeah, so like our school is this, and we're ATA affiliation, by the way. It's the largest Taekwondo organization in the world. If you want to go to the tournaments, you have to have the official ATA gear, but you don't in my dojo. You don't. You come into my school, and you don't even have to do tournaments, by the way. Yep. I know some. I just had a brand new family start, and they're like, "Oh, you have tournaments?" And I said, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, not again." I was like, "Well, they're just optional." They're like, "We don't have to." I was like, "No. That's for people who want to pursue like a title, state, district, world champion title. You don't have to do that." And if you go to those tournaments, you have to wear official ATA gear, but not my school.
Yeah.
In fact, I always tell them, "Here's my price if you want to buy a full set of gear. It's this price, but you know what?
eBay has
There's
them.
Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, or eBay, yeah.
Go check there." And often the people who buy are like, "Ooh, that disgusts me." And I get it, but I don't care. I actually had a kid come in, and he bought a full set of gear. I wish he'd at least talked to me first. It was a set of karate gear, which is fine because we teach some karate techniques too. And it is like, those boots aren't really quite the boots you need.
And the helmet's not quite right.
Right,
either.
exactly. But he's such a young age right now. I was like, for right now he's fine.
Yeah.
But when he gets bigger, that's not going to work. But right now he's okay.
Yeah, he'll grow out of it soon enough. Yeah.
But that's how we are.
Yeah.
We're not about the money. We're not about trying to fit him out with the best gears and everything.
We're about learning the arts. Like, you have to learn the
and
material.
We're all about the arts. And that's the thing with McDojos is like there's a McDojo in Mount Pleasant. I will not tell you the name of that McDojo. It drives me nuts. But we have so many students come into our school from that crappy school. But you can get them because you'll go in there and they'll say to that school, "What do you teach?" And they're like, "We teach MMA, mixed martial arts." And we're like, and I'm assuming they talk that way.
Yeah, I'm assuming they do.
And I said, "Really? So which martial arts do you mix?" They'll be like, "I don't know." Well, it's mixed martial arts, which is a great thing because let's take that kick from Taekwondo. Let's take that punch from karate. Let's take that move from Muay Thai. Let's take all these moves and make these amazing mixed martial arts moves and become a really good fighter. They don't because their instructors there answered an ad in the newspaper where I'm not kidding you, literally it said, looking for somebody to work in our dojo to teach martial arts, no experience necessary. And they took a few months to show them a few things, and now they're their head instructor.
Yes, but they decorate bow staffs.
Oh, yeah. So this is the greatest thing. So we had a girl come in to try out our class, and she saw me with a bow staff. I practice in all the weapons, and I'm really good with a bow staff. That's one of my favorite ones, that and a sword, katana. But anyways, I'm flipping it, spinning it, striking with it, and all this cool stuff. And she's like, "Oh, that's great. I went to that McDojo." Again, that's not its name. And then we did a bow staff. I was like, "That's great. Did you learn more of the spins, like competitions? Did you learn more of the strikes?" And she goes, "No, we decorated them." Like, what? She goes, "Yeah, we painted them, put streamers on them." I was like, oh my gosh. If you see a school like that, run. That's a McDojo. Prepared for. Yeah, there you go. That's answering that question. And it's really, guys, I apologize. I use the little wheel thing on my mouse. And when I do, it starts scrolling through, then it'll go way down. My thoughts on Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal has some good moves. He practices on the ancient techniques, which I highly encourage and admire, and using his Aikido moves, which are fantastic. He's very good at them. But I'll tell you, when you actually do practice martial arts and you watch the movies and stuff, you'll see that they actually use the same moves over and over again. So I wonder about how many moves Steven Seagal really knows, because he does repeat a lot. But, it's funny because, like, when I was a kid and watched Karate Kid and watched Daniel-san do his moves with Miyagi-Do, Mr. Miyagi, I was like, wow, look at that. And just the other day, it popped up, and they're so slow. Yeah. And it was like, wow. It amazed me. And the thing, they obviously rehearsed it, whatever techniques they were doing. We're going through them pretty, and when I was a kid, they were like, it seemed like the Matrix moving fast. Now I'm watching it, and they're like,
slow.
And I was like, really? And it's funny how your perspective changes as you start to learn the techniques. Let's see. Oh, you're so kind to respond. I think World War III is mentioned with Poland strikes. Yes. Okay, Betty or Rob, whichever you happen to be. Or maybe your name is Betty and Rob.
That could be.
It could be. You never know. Betty and Rob. So here's the situation. This is actually a very serious situation, by the way. Russian forces are amassing along the border between Poland and Lithuania. And there's a ravine there. I forgot the name of it. But basically it's a valley that stretches to their other territory. And right now, if Russia wants to get from their mainland to the other territory, they have to fly or go all the way around by ship. And they're amassing along the borders, 20,000 troops. And this is all taking place post that attack that took place in Moscow. And the things they're saying and doing make it look like they are going to cross the border into NATO countries, into Poland and Lithuania soon. And literally, you can look at very closely some of the things they're doing. For example, at one point going into Lithuania, all it is just a gate with a padlock on it. That's it. And they have actually started bringing heavy-duty equipment right to that gate, right across the border to Lithuania. And they even started bringing in massive amounts of dirt because as they have to try to dig and get ready for their equipment, they can put the dirt there very quickly to be able to make their move very quickly into it. So there's moves happening, which you don't see in mainstream media, which makes me wonder, this is probably what's going on. They very well could be driving in across NATO territory with an excuse of, oh, we just want to simply just annex, that's always their terms, just annex this one location so we can actually cross our equipment over. When in reality, they will be invading sovereign territory of, under NATO's command. So if that happens, guys, that could be the catalyst. But yes, Betty and Rob, that's exactly what I talked about last week. Thank you. Carla says she had dehydrated bananas from Dollar Tree.
I haven't been in Dollar Tree in a while.
Forever, I know.
Yeah.
We'll have to check that out.
That's not true. I did go in 2 weeks ago to grab balloons, but I didn't shop, so.
Ooh, sign language. Yeah, my daughters love sign language, Ellie. I am not good at it. Again, I know a few swear words, but that's pretty much it. Let's see. Nice to say knee. Oh, talking to somebody else. This is good. Good conversations tonight. Oh, and it flopped down again. Darn it. I wonder if I need to do this differently.
We got a super chat.
Do you encourage your kids to have part-time jobs while they're in school? I do not, Gray Woman. I do not at all. And I know that's just my personal preference.
That's us, what we do.
Here's my view on the world, okay, and the United States. I do encourage them for hard work. So having a part-time job isn't. I encourage and try to steer my kids toward entrepreneurism. I want them to be entrepreneurs. So let's say I'll just make up a job that one of my kids might do. Works for a well company. That's what just popped in my head. They dig wells. How about that? You can either A, work a part-time job or eventually a full-time job working for a company that digs wells, and you can actually get paid pretty well. No pun intended. Or how about you learn the skills and you open up your own well company, and that way all the money you make. And I know an entrepreneur system is not for everyone, because when you have a steady job working somewhere, let's say you work for the well company, you work X amount of hours, you get paid this much. When you go home, you go home. But when you actually have your own business, there's huge ups and downs. It goes like that. You have stresses if you're going to be able to pay the bill sometimes. And that's something that they basically have to deal with. So for example, my eldest daughter just graduated with a degree in creative writing. She wants to write novels, which I'm all for. And so I told her, and that was Naomi is here sometimes, I was like, Naomi, you have an option. You can go out if you want to. If you want to leave, I get that. Spread your wings, get your own apartment, do all that stuff you can. But you're welcome to stay here, practically speaking, as long as you want to. I mean, it gets to the point where you need to get out and find your own life. But if you want to be a novelist, here's your options. You get a job, and now you're working 80 or 40 hours a week. Mm-hmm. You get home after your job. How much writing are you going to get done?
You're so fried by the end of the day.
Exactly.
You're not going to get anything. Writing is such a mind-numbing career that it's just, she's not going to go anywhere in her life.
Right. So how about this? Take a couple years, stay with us. She helps out with chores, that kind of thing. But stay here. I encourage you to become an entrepreneur, write your books, which she has now. Let's talk to literary agents. Let's try to go into meeting with an agent to possibly get published and not self-published. I'm not against self-publishing, by the way, but self-published, you have to do a ridiculous amount of legwork. If you actually get published, your publisher pays you and does the legwork for you. You know what I'm saying? There's a little bit differences. So I'm not knocking self-publishing, but she wants to be a published author. That's what she wants.
She wants to be a published author.
So how about you take the path of, don't worry about getting a job right now. I'd rather you succeed in your career rather than ending up in a career you did not want in the first place.
Yeah.
That's what I shoot for.
That's what we shoot for all the children. And while they're in school as well, we don't have them have a job because we want them to focus on their schooling. And so far, I will brag a little. Naomi was a 4.0 student as she graduated, and Hannah is a 4.0 student. And so they are very good, and they have been able to graduate with writing and art and things like that. And they're working towards the careers that they want. Exactly. So it's important.
And so like my eldest son, flat out end of story, he wants to be a full-time martial arts instructor. And I'm here for him. In fact, I literally was just talking to him today. I said, whatever path you take, you need to continue with your training always to make sure you learn multiple martial arts, not just one. I said, I will help you out any way I can. If you end up opening up your own school, then I'll be there right behind you, helping you get into that building to get your school going. And I see that if he actually took a job somewhere, he likes business. So let's say he got a job working at some company doing like accounting or something, that'd be fine. But the more he does that, I was like, so you think you'll be able to do accounting, then in the evening do martial arts every evening also, and doing 2 jobs like that? You could for a while, but you're going to get burned out over time. Yeah. I do it almost every evening. I get burned out. And I don't do it. I mean, I do it because I run the school, but I just enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I know that the majority of America
doesn't look at it that
really
way.
Tries to push their kid to get a part-time job, get a full-time job, and do that kind of thing. I push my kids toward entrepreneurism. Mm-hmm. That's all there is to it. So that's what we do. And so
everybody does their own thing. That's what we do.
If one of my kids came up and said, well, I'd rather just get a part-time job, then I'm like, then so be it. I'm not here to try to steer you. I'm here to try to encourage you down the right path that I think you should go. All right, let's see.
An hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah. All right, so we got a super sticker from Billy the Kid. Thank you, Billy the Kid, 99 cents. Appreciate that. Mark says he's arrogant. You talking about me, Mark? I need to know. Because that means there's somebody on my lawn insulting me. It means I'm going to kick your A, dude. I don't think I'm arrogant. I think I literally stand for what I believe in. I'm sorry, it's called being a man, if that's what you're talking to. Sorry, don't get me started there. Let's see. Bruce Lee and Jean-Claude Van Damme. Jean-Claude, I mean, both of them, obviously. Bruce Lee's amazing. Mm-hmm. We try to teach, sometimes we actually teach some Bruce Lee techniques.
Yeah.
The stuff he's developed, man, it's incredible. And so even when one of our students is trying to do a side kick, I tell him to point his butt more and shift your hips more. And that's one of the techniques that Bruce Lee mastered. And Jean-Claude, in my opinion, here's the thing. When you look at all the martial artists from the 80s, Steven Seagal, Chuck Norris, I loved all of them.
Yeah. I can't.
Jean-Claude was the man, in my opinion.
I love the moves on the semis.
I know. He's simply incredible. He, in my opinion, is the martial artist. All right, keep going. Somebody said, how's the recording business going? Or you guys, I think you might have big conversations that I'm not part of.
Yeah.
Oh, how's the record business going?
Record?
I'm not sure. Must be talking to somebody else.
Yeah, it must be somebody else.
That's okay. You guys can chat with each other. I'm okay with that. 2 tank battalions on the border. Yeah, Maria, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Wait.
Steven Seagal, Billy the Kid, he is not your brother. I mean, okay, I shouldn't say that. Maybe he is.
Really?
How about this? I'll rephrase it. Is it really your brother?
Are you pulling a string?
I mean, you could
we
say
want some more information.
You could say he actually is like maybe a martial arts brother or something. I don't know. This is good stuff. Chuck Norris, I do love Chuck Norris. I'm not going to say I don't. But I'll tell you, when you look at martial arts, though, you cannot get better than Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's simply incredible. They don't make good movies like that anymore.
No, they don't.
It's sad.
No, they don't.
It's super sad. Ellie had a crush on Jean-Claude. Me too. What do they call him? Man crush?
Yeah.
Man crush.
Those splits on the semis were so amazing.
David T4. Do aliens mutilate cattle? Do we want to go down that path, David?
No, we don't. It's too late for that.
Oh, he's his brother-in-law. Above the law.
You're funny.
If you want my opinion, this is not a prepping thing either. I do not believe aliens mutilate cattle. Yeah. Anyways, guys, we're kind of coming to the end.
It's getting late.
My tea went cold. And we got to some really crazy conversations tonight.
Yeah, we did. So
we had strawberries, though.
We did. Delicious strawberries. If you haven't tried any, definitely. Freeze-dried strawberries are amazing. So sign up for the newsletter if you guys haven't already done that after the live stream. And next week we will be live as long as everything is good to go.
Carla, do you guys homeschool?
Yes.
Indeedy do we do.
We do.
Oh, yeah. We love homeschooling.
This is we're just finishing our 11th year of homeschooling. So.
Time Comp is my favorite, by the way. Nice to say. We both taught at a private school. I taught high school physics. She taught.
I did substitute for a while, and then I actually worked with special ed children.
Yeah.
So. And
then one day, Naomi, our oldest daughter, was about to go into 4th grade, and she was in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Overhearing
conversations that should not be taught in a fourth fourth grade students should not be discussing things. Let's just keep it that way.
And it wasn't just that one thing, but
no, it was multiple things.
That's when we decided. That's it.
No, this is not. I didn't want my kids exposed to that. I want my kids to be kids for as long as they possibly can be, and that.
I just love spending every day with them.
It is. It's great. Like my boys were outside. We have barrels, pickle barrels out there, and they were playing Donkey Kong, and they were building things with it and throwing barrels at each other. I mean, they're boys, that's okay. So,
wow, Shadow Scout, that's really good. All right, guys, happy Eclipse Day tomorrow to you.
Yes, stay safe.
If we all
wear your goggles.
If we all die, then I will go live and let you know we're all going to die. What's the velocity of gravity? Well, we have gravitational acceleration. Instead of the velocity actually causes the gravitational acceleration causes things to accelerate toward Earth toward terminal velocity. But there's no gravitational velocity. There's gravitational acceleration, 9.8 meters per second squared. That's what you're looking at. Don't get me started on physics.
That's took forever for that.
That's my baby. All right, guys, thanks for coming in. We'll have a regular video out tomorrow. And if there is anything that is a little more pressing for the eclipse, which I don't think there will be, I'll be glad to go about that too. All right, guys. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess see you tomorrow.